Hello and welcome to Design Office Hours, another episode with me, Peter Buckle. Design Office Hours is a podcast about design, designers, and careers in design. I talk about creating, leading, and navigating creative work at this place we call work. Whether you're a student or just starting out or an established designer, welcome to the pod. This show is also about your input, so send in your topics and questions. How to get in touch with me in the show? Email designofficehours@peterbuckle.com. Type it, record it, AI voice type record it. I don't know what the right definition is. Follow me on Instagram @designofficehours. And last but not least, head over to peterbuckle.com/designofficehours to sign up for my mailing list. And there's also a form which you can also use to submit a question. All right, let's get into it. What is on the menu for today? Obviously, all a la carte here. We got a question. All right, the question is how to choose the right workplace or to figure out a fit, or I guess, and to figure out a fit. I think this is a very great question, and I hope that most of you have choice. That would be ideal, right? It's a hot job market. It's not easy to find. It's not even easy to find a internship, I find. But let's assume you have choice, and you have to figure out, how do I make the right choice to go for, I don't know, A studio or B studio, or company A and company B, or a studio and company. So I think there are multiple variables, but I think we can try to find an altitude here to answer this in a more general way. I think this is a time where you start probably listening to your intuition. How do you, feel, or how do you say today, vibe with the people? I think it's probably advisable to having interviewed not just with your future boss, but also with people left and right. You got to talk to a few more people to the team. You got a bit of a sense of how do they talk to each other. I think having good questions prepared for a team. Let's say you sit in an interview that has multiple stakeholders from the other side, right? Ask good questions about the culture. Use ChatGPT to figure out some questions or help you to develop some questions. I think questions about how do you solve conflict, right? How are decisions made, etc. So try to figure out questions that have the team culture or the company culture playing out in front of you, at least to some little extent. So I think ultimately, let's say you have done this, you have interviewed with all the people, and you have really two good offers on the table. That would be ideal. And you still don't know what to do, right? I think this is listening to your gut feeling here. I don't think there's a rational way. Well, there are rational ways to do it, of course, right? But let's assume the offers are the same and money is good, whatnot. Which person do you resonate more with, right? Which one do you think is the better personal fit for you? Which one is the better boss? Which one is the better company culture? I think there's also something about where do you think you learn the most? And that also includes that the place that seems to be the most comfortable doesn't mean where you're going to learn the most, right? So places have different challenges. Maybe those are different industries, and one industry is, not doing so well, or the company is in rocky waters. That might be a place you're actually learning a lot more than just design. That happened to me on my first job. And I think those are all variables I would try to bring into this. Now, I think there's probably something about, this studio is very hard to work for, and this studio is very hard to work for. And yeah, sure, there are names you can work for, and they probably open some other doors in I don't know, for a future job. But if the place or you just don't feel it, right, then I would not be misled by the name or brand or whatever future potential promise this may hold. If you don't feel it, if you think this is not really working out, or I don't have a good feeling for this, then I think I would let this feeling, or I would let this rule your decision making. There's, I think, nothing. You might regret this very quickly if you sign up for a job because you think, this is a great name, a grand brand to work for, but it actually starts to suck very quickly. And then in hindsight, you kind of knew it, and you just were not ready to admit it to yourself. So again, I think it's something to get very intimate with your own feelings about, okay, I interviewed everywhere, everything's here. If I close my eyes, if I slow everything down around me, which one is the one that sort of comes to mind, right? And it's not about the why at this point. Just let it come to you. That helps me a lot because I think it speaks to the people connection. All right, that was it for this episode. I hope this was helpful. And to the person who sent in this question, I hope this will all work out in your favor and you will get started on one of these jobs. Let me know. I'm curious. Keep me posted. Also send up follow-up questions. There's a lot to navigate when you actually get started on a job. And then we'll talk about that. Until then, stay kind, stay curious, always.